Hi, I'm Darren from Foodcube, and today we're going to look at how to set up your own food cube. Before we get started, there's two things you're going to need. Some silicone grease and some Teflon plumber's tape. With that out the way, let's have a look at what comes inside the box. We'll lift out the soil trays and we'll use those in a moment. Inside your food cube, there will be 16 wicking cones, 2 air cones, 2 outlets, 2 level setters, 2 level setter extensions, 2 back nuts, 2 O-ring seals, 2 circlips, 2 mozzie clips, and 10 blanking clips. Now that we know what's inside the food cube, we can start to assemble it. We're going to start with the soil trays. Take one of your soil trays, turn it upside down. Your wicking cones will slot into the holes at the bottom of the soil tray. They can be a little bit fiddly, but don't worry, they will go in. There we go. We've done one of the soil trays. Complete that for the other 3, so you've got all 4 done, and just put them aside. We've built all our soil trays, and now it's time to move on to setting up the level setters. We'll start by taking the level setter extension and just screwing the mozzie cap on top of that. That keeps mozzies out. We'll use a little bit of our Teflon tape to put on this seal. Now this seal needs a Teflon tape because it's going to be under the water line, and it's going to make sure that our food cube doesn't leak any water out. Here's the level setter. We just screw the level setter extension into the level setter itself, and that gives us a nice and tight, watertight seal. All right, now we've got some rubber O-rings on here that we need to protect, and we need to insert them into this outlet. Now, to make that easy, we use a little bit of this silicone grease. Only need a dab. We'll just put that inside the outlet here, smear that around, put that on a nice flat surface, keeping your fingers away, and then gently push it in. The first O-ring will go in nice and easily. The second one's a bit more tricky, so put it down flat, give it a hard push, it'll pop in, and then you're done. You've got the level setter extension inserted into the level setter and into the outlet itself. Do that for the second one, and then we're ready to move on to the next step. Take one of your assembled level setters, put one of the outlet seals over the top and press it down into place. From the inside of the food cube, poke it through the outlet hole, rotate it round until it seats. Take one of the circlips, lock that down on the outside there. Take one of your back nuts, slip it over the top of the level setter, screw it down until it is nice and tight, and that creates the watertight seal. When it's finished, there'll be no gap between the level setter lock nut and the food cube itself. The next step is to put our blanking clips into the top of the food cube just to make it look pretty. By default, your food cube will come with blanking clips. If you've purchased a net system, the net system will come with these netting clips. Now, to install them, very simple. They slide in from the side and lock into place. The net system allows our nets to lock down onto the top of the food cube and keep all the bugs out. For this food cube, I'm just going to be using the blanking clips. If you've purchased a net system, put on your net clips at this stage. So go ahead and install all of the 10 blanking clips for your food cube, and we'll move on to the final step. Now we just need to install the soil trays. Take one of the soil trays that has got the hole in it for the air cone. You line that up with the moulding on the corner of the food cube that accommodates the air cone, and then sit the tray in place. Take one of the plain soil trays, has no hole in the corner for the air cone. There's an arrow. Point that arrow into the center of the food cube. We've got another soil tray with the air cone hole. Line that up into the diagonal corner that's opposite the first one you put in. And then the final soil tray just goes into place with the arrow again pointing into the center. So we've got our soil trays in place. Take one of your air cones, push it in at a 45-degree angle, pull it back, lift it up, and it'll lock into the corner of the food cube and sit flush. Look fantastic. Do that on the other side and then you're finished. With the soil trays in place, there's two optional items that I wanted to quickly cover off. The first is our coupling. The coupling allows you to join food cubes together. The benefit of joining food cubes together is that you can put a hose in one of your food cubes and fill it up, and it will also fill up the food cube beside it. So that saves you a whole lot of time out in the garden. The second is what we call our rodent plates. These are designed to go in to the holes on the side of the food cube and just block them up, and it makes it look a whole lot neater. Before you fill it full of wicking mix, I'd recommend that you do a leak test. So simply put a hose in here, fill it full of water, and when it overflows out of the level setter, you know that it's full. Let it sit for 10 minutes or so. Make sure there are no leaks around the back nut that you've tightened up, and congratulations, you've finished setting up your food cube. It's now ready to fill full of wicking mix, plant out, and it's going to give you and your family many years of enjoyment in the garden and grow you stacks and stacks of vegetables. What sort of soil should you use? Well, we recommend the BioGrow wicking mix. We worked with BioGrow to develop this mix. It's great because it's free draining and it also allows the water to wick up through the soil. And it also doesn't slump over time like a lot of potting mixes and sinks down. If this is not available in your area, we'd recommend a high quality potting mix. You can also check out our website on the resources tab for the recipe for our soil mix. If you'd like to learn more about Foodcube or any of our accessories, you can go to foodcube.com.au.